So I'm supposed to be reviewing these VITTORIA tyres pretty soon. I was going to do it today, but I just don't know what to think of them yet. At first I didn't really like them. They were quite bouncy, quite very nimble, very active and responsive, but they didn't feel very grippy. They were definitely not very grippy. The back one especially was quite loose. The Martello, this is in the gravity or the e-bike casing or enduro casing, and it's definitely a tough tyre. It's taken some big hits and it's just shrugging them off, which is cool. First they just felt really like a really hard compound rubber, so there was no bite or very minimal bite, and they were just kind of bouncy and not very stable. They wouldn't hold a line very well. They kind of go wherever you want. So great trail bike tyre, killer trail bike tyre, but for the real charging and looking for heaps of grip under load, like coming in at high speed on something loose, for instance, the front just wasn't picking up. It wasn't grabbing. It was just slipping around, and it was a little bit sketchy, to be honest. But the more I ride them, either I'm getting used to them more and I can deal with them, or they're getting better. They're breaking in. You can see by the treads they're not very well broken in yet. I've done a heap of rides on them. I've done a fair few rides on them. It's just a harder compound. So I'd say if I was to have a guess at where it was in comparison to a maxi, so a maxi, you got the max grip, which is about a 40, 42A compound, depending on the knobs you're looking at. I reckon it's 40 on the sides, 42 on the top for a max grip. Max Terra is about a 45 on the sides and maybe a 50 on the top, or maybe it's 45 on the top and 42 on the sides. This is probably between a Max Terra and just a dual compound, like a Max Pro, which is 60A compound. So they're probably about a 45 to a 50. The tread pattern itself works really well. I like the tread pattern itself. I like the bike. Bike's pimp. Trek slash. Yeah, this front tyre today hooked up really well, and they're fast. These tyres are so quick. They're nimble, they're easy to climb on. The back one still doesn't have a lot of grip climbing, but it's acceptable. And on the descent, it kind of feels like it does have a reasonable amount of grip. Cornering, I've been doing some flat corners out here as well, and cornering feels alright, feels controllable now that they're getting a little bit more scrubbed in, I guess. But I've ridden it on a steep, loose trail, and the grip just wasn't quite there for me. So, like I said, I don't really know my full opinion of these tyres yet. I was going to take them off today, but I'm going to keep them on. I'm going to keep them on, and I'm going to keep on trucking, maybe another weekend at least, maybe all the way through next week as well, and then I'll drop a full review of what I think of them once I've kind of given them a chance on all different trails. It feels like when I get them to looser, steeper trails, it's a little bit harder to hold a line, considerably compared to a DHF. But now that they're scrubbed in, I'll go back to those trails and I'll see if that's still the same case or whether it was a breaking in period. So durability on the back is killer. Durability on the front, I guess it's the same as an Exo. Feels the same, like this weighs the same as a DHF max grip or max Terra. It's like a 970 gram tire. Back one's 1250, I think. It was about the same. It was pretty much identical to the DHR2 in a DH compound in 2.4. So so far, I guess so good. They're starting to come alive, and I don't know, maybe I like them. Same pressure, 22 at the front, 24 at the back. I was running a 25 at the back, 24 seems a little bit more compliant. I like 25 in the Aggressor and in the what a catch, and in the DHR2 definitely a 25. It's a little bit soggy otherwise. And the Trek Slash, just a spoiler alert, I'm going to obviously do a review of it soon. This thing's killer.